Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today I'm going to be playing a different game. It's called Cuban Missile Crisis, and it is about a hypothetical World War III that breaks out during the Cuban Missile Crisis. More or less, it states that when the U-2 carrying, I think his name was Major Anderson, was shot down over Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis, that sparked a Third World War, in which the world was devastated and destroyed, and the powers of the world, recognizing that nuclear winter was coming and was imminent, had to move south to the equator to attempt to avoid nuclear winter. That's sort of the premise behind the game. It's interesting that it's called the Cuban Missile Crisis because the plot of the game has nothing to do with the Cuban Missile Crisis, but nonetheless, it does have an interesting plot. It has the United States and Britain staying more or less allied throughout the conflict, but France and Germany split off and formed their own European community, and then the Soviet Union, of course, and then China is also involved. And all these regions of the world are affected slightly differently from the nuclear war. For example, the Chinese are affected the least from the war, but they are, the least prepared for a mass migration type conflict. And the Americans are devastated. The Americans and British are devastated, but they still have a naval advantage. The Soviets are devastated, but a little bit less so, but now they have to deal with fighting both the Americans and the Europeans. For some reason, the Americans end up fighting the French and the Germans as well. We're going to go ahead and start a new game. But that's about my extent of what I know about the game. So what I've done thus far is I've read through the different briefings and scenarios here for the different countries. So, for example, China, they're really looking to move south toward Indonesia to attempt to take those areas over. The Americans are looking at moving toward the equator, I assume South Africa and maybe the British, colonies in India and Burma. Again, this conflict is taking place in early 1960. The premise is interesting. It's saying that nuclear war has happened. The first phase of the nuclear war is over. However, nuclear winter has not yet set in. So it's kind of this attempt to evacuate, but also fight your enemies at the same time. I'm not sure where the French and Germans want to go. But we'll play as the Chinese. I think it's an interesting aspect. I really haven't played much of the game thus far. The game has a pretty well put together description, although it's not terribly well written. You can see here, it looks like it's done in chapters. So up here we've got for the people of China. Chapter 1, our objective is advance northwards to the Soviet-Chinese border, repulse the enemy attack. So advance north to repulse a Soviet attack coming south. In addition to that, we need to recapture strategic resources, and then we also need to strike at an enemy expeditionary force here down in Korea. Now, the Chinese situation is interesting. So when this war happened and kind of the economy fell apart, the Chinese actually, the Maoist government falls apart. Beijing was nuked, but the bulk of China was not. The areas that were heavily affected were in the south, and the nationalist Chinese also took over vast swaths of China. So you kind of have this northern pocket of communist China that remains, and you can see here the game does represent different industrial factors. So for example, there's different ammo storage facilities, there's fuel and lubricant storage facilities, spare parts factories that create spare parts, oil refineries that create oil. So you've kind of got a strategic map on here where you've got to manage your resources by the looks of it. It looks like you've got ammunition, you're gaining 10,000 per turn, and you've got a stockpile here. So you're trying to stockpile and increase your resources while at the same time expanding your reach. And the two objectives here is one in the north and one in the south. No tactical operations at this time. Storage facilities. It looks like you can also build new units. So, for example, we could go ahead and purchase some new armored units. 17 units under command can increase to 17 units. So it looks like that would be our maximum. But we can go ahead and purchase here. Now, obviously, this has a cost in terms of spare parts and fuel and ammo. It looks like that's an interesting aspect of the game. You've got to kind of manage those factors, it looks like. Okay. Okay. So we've got multiple different units around here in our territory. We've got objectives in the north, and we've got objectives in the south. We also would like to take over some of these facilities to regain more ammunition or increase our production of spare parts. So I'm kind of going to try and merge my forces here, because China itself, I think, is relatively weak compared to the other allies. So I'm merging my forces into two stronger main armies. You can see here we've got quite a strong force there. And then we've also got a relatively strong force here in the south. And then I think what we'll begin to do is we'll begin advancing north to try and repulse the enemy attack. It gives you a scenario mission. So, for example, the border, the combat situation unfolding in Chinese territory south of whatever the name of that city is. More or less, the Soviets are advancing. So we need to try and take this territory up here. So we'll go ahead and do that. We've already used our movement points. And then the guys here in the south, I'm half tempted to advance on the spare parts facility, but I also don't want to get myself cut off. Doesn't really matter this turn because I've already used my movement points. But we'll go ahead and looks like we'll end our turn and we'll see what happens here. You can see the enemy is advancing kind of around us in multiple ways. So splitting or combining our forces to that extent may not have been wise, because we could risk losing this ammo storage facility, which has the vast majority of our ammunition, so that's a bit of a risk. But we're going to go north here. We're going to engage the enemy, and it looks like once you go... So this is kind of interesting. You've got kind of a strategic map by the appearance of this. And this is, guys, this is a raw first impressions. I have not played this game, but it looks like you can have a strategic level map, and then you can move around and have a tactical battle that you fight. So approximate enemy composition, no data on their number of tanks, some self-propelled guns, artillery, and some infantry. We've got quite a few tanks, 12 tanks, 4 self-propelled guns, no artillery, but we've got 60 infantry. You could auto-resolve the battle, auto-combat, or you can begin the mission yourself. So we're going to go ahead and begin the mission ourselves, just so we can see what this looks like. Okay, so we need to capture this bridge here at the end of the map. Looks like we need to move here and take this over, and we've got to advance along this roadway. Okay. By the looks of it, units do have health meter. They've also got ammunition that can run out, secondary guns, so that's probably the machine gun, the coaxial machine gun, the main gun, and then fuel. And it looks like you've got medical trucks here. Maybe they heal wounded infantry. You've got a fuel Bowser. You've got a engineering thing. I don't know if that fixes tanks. And you've got a heavy truck, whatever that does. So again, we've got quite a few tanks here. I'm hoping we heavily outnumber the enemy. It looks like this is a real-time game. No turns or anything like that. It's just, the game's already going. I'm hoping the enemy's not advancing on us here. You can see our tanks rolling over some of this territory here. Looks like we've got some troop transports that have troops inside them. So I think we'll advance some infantry to our flanks, because I'm assuming, tanks may be vulnerable on the flanks. We'll keep 2 trucks in reserve, we'll say, of infantry here. I assume that's what these little dashes mean, is that they're infantry. And actually, we'll put 2 trucks on each flank, and then we'll probably dismount them. And I'm just going to advance slowly across the map. I would guess the enemy has some defenses here because there's some high ground, and this road passes between some high ground, so that would be a natural choke point for them to try and stop us. And then probably maybe back here, whatever these buildings are for, but then definitely in front of the bridge here, maybe using this high ground. So yeah, we'll continue advancing, I suppose. Now, I don't No, I don't see any way to zoom out on the map, which could make coordinating this a little bit difficult. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll advance these. Let's see here. How does this work? Looks like we can just drag and drop, and then guys kind of advance according to where they're at. So we'll advance them all a little bit. And I'm not really going to hold much back as a reserve. These guys are staying back here. I don't know if I'll end up needing them or not. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and... How do you dismount? Oh, you just right-click. Okay, you just right-click and these troops pour out. So we're going to try and flank around this high ground because I'm really worried the enemy has some troops here. I also see some... I don't know if these are tank treads indicating the enemy has tanks here or if that's just a map feature. But we're going to advance these guys around the edge of the map. We're also going to pull, I'd say, looks like a self-propelled gun and maybe 2 tanks. We'll pull... Oh, wait, these guys aren't going anywhere. I want these guys advancing here. We're going to try and use these trees as cover, and we'll see if we can kind of advance around the corner of the map. Hopefully somewhat undetected. I'm guessing the enemy doesn't have too many men there. Oh, who's under attack? They are under attack. Crap. Enemy infantry. Just slaughtering our guys. Come on, tanks, provide some fire. Looks like you just kind of right-click and your troops engage. Holy cow, our infantry are dropping like flies. None of our infantry survived that? What about our tanks? Do we lose any tanks? Doesn't look like it. Good lord. Well, we just lost a third of our infantry there. Good thing we had these reserves. I was definitely right about the enemy being in force around our flank, but I didn't expect them to charge forward and slaughter us like that. Anyway, so it looks like our armor, was useful there. Makes me, the enemy definitely has... I didn't even get around their flank. Okay. So, let's get these guys over here. I think maybe we'll use those trucks for the dead infantry as scouts. That might be useful. This is an interesting... Like I said, this is a very old game. It's put together by 1C, which my recollection is they kind of did some hardcore strategy games back in the day, or like kind of hardcore RTSs or war simulations. I don't really know a ton about them. We're going to send one of these empty jeeps forward to see if we can get an eye on what's up here. Maybe we need to go around both of these because there's 2 ridges back to back. Let's see what we can see. Well, they got killed pretty quick. Shit. Pull the armor around here. I'd send the tank up by itself to scout. It doesn't look like you've got very good visibility. Even with that scout car moving forward, it didn't really... I didn't see where the shot came from. I'm going to try and move up around the enemy's rear. I don't know if there's any troops in this hut or whatever you have it. These guys do have machine guns, it looks like, on the top of them, so hopefully they can fend for themselves somewhat. Tempted to throw one of our tanks forward and just try and get a look at what shot at them. We're gonna send another one of these. We're gonna send one of these jeeps up as kind of a sacrificial lamb, and the tank will come in behind and hopefully identify whatever's shooting at him. Or not. What is shooting at you? Whoa. What are you doing? Well, good lord. Just get everyone killed. Okay. Fuck. Wondering if it's something over here. I'll try and work these guys up around the other side. I'm going to try and flank him on the other end now. Oh, shit. Enemy dismount. Oh, God. Well, it looks like I don't know if it was our tank must have finished those two guns off. I think it looks like we can put our own guys in these things. Nice. Okay. So by the looks of it, so we wiped out an enemy infantry squad on the right. Oh boy, he dead. Self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. Okay. Can you shoot at that? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that guy's dead. Good to know that those anti-tank guns of ours have some use. I wonder if we can move them at all. Oh god, that's slow. Do we have any of those jeeps left, or did I get all my infantry carriers destroyed? I wonder if you can... Can you tow something? Maybe our engineering unit can tow something. I don't know if we can tow. Let's take a look. So we're going to advance our armor, our main fist, up the gut now, I would say at this point. We'll see if we're under attack at all. Looks like we've got this area somewhat mopped up. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can tow it. Anyway, this is an interesting little game. I really like the operational aspect where you kind of create your, the strategy aspect where you kind of create your own units or control production and have to manage ammunition expenditures. At least I assume you have to manage ammunition and expenditures. It seems to keep track of all of that on a very kind of granular level. Okay, so now we've got the bridge ahead of us, which is the main obstacle, I'm assuming. I don't know how far those guns can fire, but I really want to try and get those guns that I seized into position, because they could be useful. Not sure what the enemy has waiting for me here, but definitely could be useful. Let's send our scout in here. Oh, shit. Enemy tanks. Stop. Stop moving. 2 enemy tanks just blasted out of there. Doesn't look like they've advanced there quite yet. I don't really want to have to wait for these guys to slowly manipulate these guns forward, but we'll advance our tanks to right about here. We'll see if they get an eye on these enemies. We saw 2 tanks that kind of charged forward. I don't want to get too far forward. I don't want to expose my guys to any unnecessary fire. Whoa. Okay, let's get you guys up here. You're going to take for frickin' ever to move. So we just lost a tank. I'm not quite sure what to. By the looks of it, I'm guessing there's another anti-tank gun around here somewhere. Because that was kind of the quick, accurate fire that we were losing vehicles to a little while ago. Where are you going? Looks like there's some trenches over here. I don't want to attack trenches with infantry just moving forward straight up. Wonder, is this a... Can I... Nope, halt. Oh, shit. There you go, tanky. Take out another one. There you go. Boom! 3 enemy tanks dead. Now it does look like the enemy has some men in the trenches. We did lose that entire squad of infantry. So it does look like they've got some men in here. I wonder if we can bombard them out. They are in trenches, which I imagine is going to make that somewhat difficult. No. Yeah, we're taking fire from them. Damn it. I wonder what the best way is to attack these infantry in this trench. And the bombarding doesn't seem to do much. I mean, they're all pouring rounds in. And there's definitely got to be an enemy anti-tank gun around there somewhere. Did I lose all my infantry there? Looks like it. Oh, these guys are low on ammo. So let's bring our ammo truck forward. Bring these guys forward. Unfavorable weather, aviation not available. Well, that doesn't matter because we don't have aviation to begin with. Like, I want to do direct fire. I don't want you to charge them. Oh, that's not direct. I thought that was indirect fire. My bad. Alright, move your little gun forward. You guys go over here. And ammo truck. Race forward. Don't get shot, though. That would be bad. Deliver ammo. There you go. Okay, the ammo truck more or less... I don't know how much ammo it has in it. But it does look like we just got more ammo in that. Can you deliver more manpower? Do you get reinforcements that way? No? Okay. Trying to move forward slowly because it seems like you just die so quick in this game. Hope this video isn't too boring and I'm not too chatty. I'm recording at like 1 in the morning right now. Did we kill all the enemy in that trench line? Oh, there's more trenches over here, though. Fuck. I think they just killed everyone on that gun. Not sure what the star represents. I know there's bad guys in this trench. Why can't I see them yet? Oh, tank. Shit. Okay. Oh, we just knocked out an enemy tank. Score! One for the good guys. Go fill them up. Okay. Okay. Whoa. For fuck's sake. What do you mean it's too far away? They're taking fire, I think. Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements? Oh. Just another ammo truck. Damn. Well, you guys don't just walk forward. Oh. You idiots. No, 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 no. Don't go up there. Go back. You don't have any ammo. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this guy over here. What is our tank doing over here? Just randomly? Just hanging out? Okay. We need more ammunition, so maybe that's why our truck showed up. Oh, wow, they got blasted. What's over here? Is there anyone in this thing? What about this truck over here? Anyone in this? No, that's our engineering truck. I don't know if we took out their... No, we did not. Slowly advancing. There's got to be more enemy around here. I swear, there's got to be an anti-tank gun up here somewhere. It's not shooting at us right now, though. I'm hoping this is the majority of what we got to deal with. Real great if I didn't get all my infantry killed, though. Alright, you reload him. No resources, no storage. Shite. Well, that's great. So that tank is more or less worthless. It might have secondary ammo. Nope, used all its secondary ammo too. Okay. I'm guessing crossing this river is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm trying to have this tank over here provide some overwatch. Same for both of these guys. Where's this enemy gun? Move, you dumbass. Get your ass up. Oh, for fuck's sake. And the bridge collapsed. So now what? We can't take the bridge. How do we cross? Is there a ford over here somewhere that I'm unaware of? Let's see where this guy goes if I order him across the river. Maybe crossing the bridge was a dumb. But I don't know where else you can cross unless there's somewhere that the tank can drive across. It doesn't look like it, though. We're just going for a merry little stroll. Yeah. Well, now that the bridge is destroyed, well, what the hell are you supposed to do? Can our engineering truck fix it, maybe? But they're going to be under fire, so what's the value in that? It seems like your line of sight in this game is way too short. Where did I even put that engineering truck? So you can lay mines. Doesn't look like there's an option to build a bridge. This guy's totally going to get his ass blown apart. What was the point of bringing this truck in if it had no... He's going to get blown up. Can you even repair that bridge? Yep. There's another trench line on the other side, and all of those guys are dead now. Oh, shoot him. Blow it up. Ugh. Reinforcements arrive. Great. So we have another engineering truck. So I'm glad we can get reinforcements for those things. That's kind of pointless. Maybe you can fix that tank. Let's see. This has some ammo. Both of these have decent ammo. I think those are my only two real tanks left. I've got this one, but it has no ammo. And nothing to replace its ammo with. This guy I don't have any troops for. So I guess we'll see when our engineering truck gets up there if we can do anything to maybe repair our damaged tank, and then I'm not sure. So an enemy tank came forward. If that's the only thing they have, and maybe just some infantry, I might have a chance, but I'm pretty sure they got an anti-tank gun somewhere up in here. I gotta cross it, and I've got to cross it and I think take these containers. That's kind of our objective, and at that point, then we would win the battle. I'm obviously not very good with using tactics and things. That may not be my strong suit. Oh goodness, it's already 2 o'clock in the morning. It's an interesting little game. Let's see here. So repair this guy. That's first off. Hopefully you don't get killed. Heavy tank, start repairs. Like, okay, come on guys. Start repairs. Give me some indication on how long that's going to take. For fuck's sake. Well, this is dumb. Screw this. Mission ending. Restart mission. Mission ending. Auto combat. Mission failed. Okay. So, opponent lost several tanks. We lost more. A lot more. We lost like our whole northern expedition. Fuck. So I can build more, but I don't have a ton of resources to do that. Combat situation, they're attacking this radar. So I read there's a fixed point. I'm just going to auto combat that. Mission failed. Opponent did lose some stuff though. But we lost, looks like we lost a radar facility. Another combat facility or situation in the north. We'll auto resolve because I don't have any real troops there. Mission failed. The opponent did lose some equipment again. But we're being overrun. Another combat situation, auto-resolve. And another defeat. I wonder if auto-resolve even has a purpose. Like, what's the point? Okay. Let's just try an auto-resolve. Victory! Ooh! So we lose one heavy tank, and the enemy loses several units. So that's good to see. Chinese tanks victorious. We're going to auto-resolve again, because this... I've been playing for over 40 minutes, so I'm just going to see what happens. Another victory. So we did lose quite a few units, but the enemy lost substantial forces as well. And now we have nothing left. You can see here this is depleting our fuel reserves, our spare parts, and our ammo reserves. But we are at the very least, I would imagine, wearing the enemy down. We can go in and, you know, build more units. Looks like we've got enough to build one tank. So that's about it. It's probably not enough to do much. You can see here they're strangling us to death. Combat situation. Auto-resolve. Failure. We lose. We did destroy some enemy units, though. Quite a few. It does look like I have enough... Sorry about that. To purchase one tank and one artillery piece. And... attempt to retake this oil facility, or this facility, whatever it is. And we failed. We're going to lose. I mean, maybe if I was playing these, I don't know. Given how the way I played on the first battle, I don't think me playing would do much of anything. You can see the enemies closing in on our capital. So we did win a couple battles with the auto-resolve, but obviously you need a force. So we lost the chapter. We lost the battle. China was overrun. It's an interesting game. I like the kind of strategy and tactical mix. I'm not any good at it, but it might be fun to play a little bit more. There's also a sequel for it, Cuban Missile Crisis Ice Attack or something, Ice Campaign, which is basically after the nuclear winter sets in. So let me know what you guys think. I know I didn't chat a whole lot. This is literally the first time I had played the game, so... yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.